Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen from all around the globe. I'm delighted to co-chair this event. I'm Osama Al-Ansari, with me Faisal Al-Fadl, chair of the side event hosted by the Saudi Green Building Forum. Welcome to The Honest Voice, Bridging the Gap, Climate, Sustainability, and Resource Efficiency, ensuring health, safety, and the environment, sustainable and resilient recovery from the COVID-19. Today, the international community, member states, representatives, expert speakers, youth, and NGOs will testify with their best knowledge on ways to go forward on the expression, the honest voice. Bridge the gap between empowerment and sustainability, ensuring health, safety, and the environment post-COVID-19. Delegates will present collaborative solutions to cover longer-term priorities for the future we want by recognizing 193 member states' volunteer national reports. COVID-19 has impacted nearly all areas of human life, natural resources, and the implementation of sustainable development goals. The Honest Voice encourages strengthening the science policy interface, building civil community resilience through empowering education, health and safety, just systems by multi-sectoral and cross-disciplinary actions. This virtual side event, HLPF 2021, hosted by Saudi Green Building Forum, is an open discussion and presents engagement of all stakeholders, leaving no one behind, to bridge the gap between public and private sectors' role in achieving SDGs. Our first session will shed the light on natural resources, Goal 12, 13, and 17. Inclusive society, Goal 3, 10, and 16. Prosperity assurance, Goal 1, 2, and 8. The driving force of the global social economy and environment that rests on our very existing future in a way that continues to have disruptive impacts on the planet if not checked. For the opening remarks, I'm pleased to introduce Mr. Faisal Al-Fadl, Secretary General of Saudi Green Building Forum. He's an architect, volunteer, and community builder in full capacity for the planet's future. Mr. Faisal, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Co-Chair Osama. Good morning and good afternoon, everybody, everywhere you are. Dear honorable speakers and distinguished delegates, no doubt the Honest Voice energizes the international community for sustainability pathways. Today, the Arab region of the West Asia shares a common language, culture, religion, and is divided into three clusters falling into two continents, two hemispherics, and a border of 5 oceans and seas. Covering around 14 million square kilometers, the region covers 9% of Earth's total land area, with over 350 million people, of which 56% live in urban areas. Confronted today by extreme climate, limited natural resources, economic conditions, and conflict, the environmental challenges are striking. Our review of the issues today bridge the gap as it relates to the work being the honest voice for empowerment, from empowerment to sustainability. I am very grateful to more than 5,000 volunteer professionals and experts believe in us, who believe also that independent procedures are inclusive in facing challenges. The highlight of the gap between empowerment and sustainability to achieve desirable environmental goals and rebuilding green resilience and long-lasting prosperity. There is no doubt bridging the gap ensures a comprehensive recovery that addresses inequality, and adapting consumption and production induces a sustainable future from one generation to the next. Women, youth, and citizens are the essential component of cross-cutting issues in promoting sustainable development goals. We understand that our priorities for the future we want, the global citizen we are, by addressing the green responsible actions, supporting global green economy realignment, commitment to value chain approach to food, construction, and textile, solidarity of regional and urban cities, supporting places affected by the current crisis, emphasizes on continuous quality education for health, safety, and the environment, the built environment. The gap that is a way improving forward requires proposition, expectations, and policy recommendations. We call on the international community to set up an applicable framework and a fair performance indicators, mechanism for education and health safety and the environment in a way that supports building the capacity of civil society. The science-based policy action on sustainability, consumption, and production is essential, ensuring full, equal, and meaningful participation, representing and leadership in economic empowerment. Access to finance, decent work, equal pay, and social security bridge the gap would request investing in artificial intelligence, tools, and fair data collection. By enhancing data gaps and time lags in the official statistics needed for future or for further investment in building capacity for sustainable development goals. Therefore, disclosing of the impact on climate change, unveiling natural resources and demographics, realizing data preventions from well-being with an emphasis on universal health coverage, addressing population, expansion of housing and malnutrition in cities, rural areas, and remote areas. Emphasizing the international community for sustainable pathways, bridging the gap. A way moving forward requires proposition, expectations, and policy recommendations. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to address you today. Back to you.
Thank you. How can we heal this earth before it becomes too late? Now is the time to take civic actions. Climate change and depletion of natural resources are involved. To us will speak Mr. Segene Park. He's an architect and urban planner, president of the American Institute of Architects in Japan. 3 minutes. Please go ahead.
I'd like to thank the Saudi Green Building Forum for giving me the opportunity to be part of this discussion. How can we heal this earth before it becomes too late? Now is the time to take civic actions to counteract the temperature rise and manage the natural resources for our families and future generations. Green buildings, natural ventilation, open spaces, greenways, zero-emission transportation options, and low-waste communities have been adopted to reduce carbon dioxide. However, all these solutions are not enough to achieve the truly sustainable environment. A balance between appropriate sustainable design, economic feasibility, and civic support is critical for sustainability. If those three are falling apart, then sustainability will not last long. For instance, to counterbalance the urban heat vegetation is a popular choice for positive effect of nature. But if too many trees are planted, such densely vegetated area will attract people, but also a considerable number of undesirable insects like mosquitoes. Can pesticides be sprayed in the worst case scenario? The whole purpose of providing vegetation is to retrieve healthy environment. When vegetation is introduced, we need to consider its impacts to the existing ecosystem holistically for a long term. The appropriateness of a sustainable solution and social preference are not necessarily consistent. Sustainability is tangible as long as it is economically viable. There is a misconception that sustainable design is costly. However, it is eventually economical in the long run. Indigenous materials cost less and consume less gas for transportation, and that they are more durable. Solar panels add cost initially, but save the operational costs. Those decisions are small to make. Sustainable design can be therefore adapted to any project type, regardless of size and budget. In fact, there is still room to make a sustainable design more affordable. Supportive policies such as the incentives for sustainable property development will allow sustainable design accessible to anyone and will consequently help to create high demand for low-impact materials and high-performance systems. In the industry, there will be more competitions for the technology development potential of new technologies and more job opportunities. Those will boost economy in the end. Sustainability is difficult to survive without civic support. Each day, architects and urban planners do their best to help clients better understand not only the cost effectiveness of a sustainable design, but also the imperative to utilize renewable resources for every building and urban planning in order to regain the healthy environment for our and future generations' health and well-being. Perhaps the civic support is the most important because can be a great momentum to promote sustainability. In conclusion, appropriate sustainable design, economic feasibility, and civic support are essential for sustainability. Especially civic support is indispensable for promoting sustainability. When an individual begins to take the first action to change, it could be very small. However, even such a small action as a flap of butterflies' wings may set off a gust of wind that sways public opinion. Hopefully, high winds can finally blow the heat off, taking us to the truly sustainable world. Thank you very much.
Thank you indeed, Mr. Park. Thank you indeed.
Yeah, I think, Co-Chair, I think it's, what's nice about all of this is going on, that leaving no one behind. I mean, today we have tools, and we talked about intelligence in my introduction, that data, it becomes have and have not. There will be people that have data and people have no data. And I think today with the COVID, with everything is going on, with tools, again, such as Restore, such as, I know we're working with other groups, developing also the SDGs on the goal 12, which is consumption and production. And not knowing really the value chain and knowing where the product comes and where it ends, it becomes very important. So the data intelligence is really the future. And that's why we love to engage with scientists such as Ms. Clara and others that really look into this as a driving tool to see whether or not we can actually achieve it. And I think one of the major achievements for humankind is the 17 goals that actually, like one of the speakers earlier said, that it's interrelating, it's engaging, and it's really 169 mission with 242 indicators. So in the end of the day, it's not only an SDG, it's not only just a global, obscure position, but it's actually it's an indicator that you can actually measure and present and promote in a way. So thank you.
Thank you. Any final words, Chairperson, before we close this forum?
Well, I really want to really thank everybody. I think it's very obvious we have so many champions, and we try to make really sure that we have we have the scientists, we have the women, we have the youth, we have the Saudis, we have the Arab. We've got just about everybody, and I think that's a really a cross section of how our Earth needs all of us to move forward. And I think to conclude and to thank you, obviously, Mr. Sama, and all the honorable guests today, and everybody who's around the world watching us. Thank you for your support. Thank you for keeping up with us. And also the HLPF, it is the other side of the coin. The SDGs would never be possible without actually having HLPF, that for every year that we look and observe what member states as well as NGOs and all the community contributing to Mother Earth. So thank you very much again.
Thank you indeed, Chairperson, and thank you, dear panelists, and thank you, our valued audience, for joining us in this forum, and we look forward to hosting you soon in many other successful events. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Goodbye. Thank you.